Yes, yes. You're back. As I knew you would be. And I am absolutely. You saw the camera first, didn't you? I was joking. No, but yes, hello. Welcome to another video. I am here, prepared. Your Lord, your ambassador. The person in whom all the nobodies, all the rejects claw to. I'm sorry, what's the right word? I can't remember. But hello once again, lords and ladies, my fellow rejects, my mages, all of those who feel a bit what's it called? Who feel alone, who feel isolated. I welcome all of you to another video. I am here, and I am happy to come to all of you, with some news. But first of all, I want to say that I am so happy that you are again here, that you have tuned in to another episode. And what we're going to talk about is a bit more specific. I tried to narrow it down as best as I could. The last video, I loved it very much, but apparently I seem to just go on and on when I'm talking about certain things. But the focus of this video, I wanted to narrow it down to a specific subject that I believe I mentioned in a previous video or so. What it's going to be exactly could probably change depending upon the situation, but I am always ready and always eager. And I don't know if you all noticed, but it is freezing in this dungeon. Look, let me show you. Look. Do you see that? Do you bloody see that? It is freezing in here. It is very cold outside, and of course the dungeon is not insulated because it's an old dungeon. It doesn't really need insulation or anything else. I have a small torch somewhere that is lit, providing some sort of heat, some sort of, positive energy my way, not only fueling my mana, but also heating up my core, my body, my being. And so I am here, I'm wearing a bit more layers. I don't know if you can honestly tell, but honestly, I think I rather like it, I have a long sleeve this time. I actually enjoy the look. It's a lot more elegant, a lot more, refined is perhaps the right word. But without, further more delay, I am so happy to have all of you here with me. Again, I understand it's been a very exciting week for those of us in the mortal realm, for those of us who are living here in this world. And we finally, I can't say we, because I pertain to the other one, but I am a citizen, technically. And so, we have a new president, or you have a new president, that's, good for all of you, or... not all of you are happy about it. I could care less. What I am happy about is that I can speak to all of you again. That I can come to you. Hold on. Am I centered? I don't think I'm centered. Hold on. Is that better? Yes! Marvelous! Oh! No, so I noticed that there's a lot of people, doing what have fun. There's all things to the Capitol and everything else. And I honestly didn't want to get into that because that's not the focus of my video. My focus in the video is simply you and telling you stories of the past, of my world. And occasionally, yes, I did promise you I will be doing some projects. And they are in the works. I'm just getting certain things prepared. I'm a very busy man. I work almost the entire week. And today is one of those days where I have free. So I'm trying to manage my schedule appropriately in order to, give to you the best that I possibly can. So, let us begin. So, I was, just living my life as positively as I could, and apparently, I was robbed! Someone stole from me! You rats! Not you rats. I'm talking about the bastard that stole my garbage bin. Who goes around stealing garbage bins? Are we serious now? You've gotten so desperate that you have to steal a person's garbage bin. It wasn't even mine. It wasn't provided by the city. But I laid it out there, for garbage pickup. It was during the week. Yes, I have rings on. And apparently I go out one morning, I guess in the evening, to put out some garbage. And then I noticed my garbage bin was missing. So I was like, who in their right mind decides to waste their energy to steal a garbage bin? I thought, what's useful about a garbage bin? You can put garbage in it. You can use it to carry other things. And this was a second garbage bin we had to be issued because the first one was damaged. So this particular garbage bin has serial numbers. Allegedly, my father had probably scribed it down somewhere on a tablet. I don't know. He's very old-fashioned. I can't stand it. He could have just taken a picture. But apparently, he was like, no, I have to write this down. It's for memory. I'm like, do you remember what it is? He's like, no. I'm like, well, there you go. There goes your memory. Thank you, Father. You know, you're over 600 years old. You might just, I don't know, you might as well be writing on tablets that the ancient Egyptians used. But no, you could be using your phone that I gave you as a souvenir from the world of living, which I reside in. But no, so of course he wants to make it all, difficult. But apparently, our garbage bin was stolen. My garbage bin was stolen. And so now, whenever I have to take out the bloody garbage in this mundane world, I have to put it out in the curb early in the morning before I have to sit out to go to work. And that is a hassle. The reason why I canceled it out the night before, you may be asking, is because where I live, there are beasts and terrors known as cats. And they rip open the garbage bags. And it's not just them, it's also bloody raccoons. And they go forward and they rip your garbage. It is an utter mess. We've had so many issues with that in the past. That is why the city issued garbage bins to begin with. But for some reason, somebody took it upon them to say, look, they have a very nice garbage bin. Let us take it as if you don't already have one. And maybe they don't. I'm not one to attack the less fortunate, but I don't care. It is my garbage bin, you stupid bloody bastard. Give me back my garbage bin. Don't make me curse you. I really don't want to do it. I'm all about positive manner, positive vibes, charging my mana, doing all of these things, practicing passive magic. That is what I usually do. But I can also curse you passively. I can curse you if I wanted to, but that's not my person. I'd rather not do that. I tried so hard not to focus on hexes or anything else of the sort. And yes, I can go into curses, because for those of you mundane who think curses aren't real, they are. And I will explain to them, perhaps in a better depth, in another video, but I guess I can go into it a little bit here. But not right now, perhaps a bit later. We're going to segue back into this because I have something in mind I wanted to talk to you about. So aside from, being robbed, I am in the market to search for a new vehicle. Yes, a new chariot for your Lord. The one I currently have is a bit old. It's a bit out. It is outdated. It sounds marvelous, but it's just too much work, and I am loath to have something break down on me when I'm trying to head doing errands. I would rather not break down on the side of the road, and risk having people flag me down and say, hello, do you need help? Because I had that happen to me a number of times. For some reason, whenever I have a cart of a specific type or make, it just breaks down on me, and I have no idea why it does this. But honestly, yes, so I have been looking for a new vehicle. I'm still in the market. For those of you out there, currently I am residing in the Cleveland, Ohio area. Yes, Cleveland. Of all places I could be. I am in Cleveland. But look, let me tell you, it's because the property taxes are a lot cheaper. It's a lot easier getting a home here than in many other places. However, they screw you over with the bills here. It is absolutely insane. It is criminal. It is run by criminals, let's be honest. But, it is a living. That is where I am at this moment. And so currently, I am in the market for a vehicle. Something a bit more newer. I don't want to pay more than, 4,000 sovereigns for it. Honestly, or quids, or whatever your money is. Dollars, whatever. I don't need so much. I don't need something that's how much I'm willing to spend at the moment. Of course, I am working and I have other things to worry about. But this is honestly a concern I have of mine, because my current chariot is about to lose a wheel, to say the least. But yes, so so I must say this. I apologize that this video perhaps isn't as humorous, or perhaps has, lofty as perhaps some of the other ones. I am honestly a bit miffed by this, because somebody wanted to steal my garbage bin. It is ridiculous. What am I supposed to put the garbage in? I have no garbage bin. I'm sorry, hold on. Okay. My garbage bin is gone. My car, it's working now, but I honestly don't know how long I have with it. My magic has been a little bit, well, it's been all right. I have been seeing the passive magic work. It is working. Good things have been happening to me lately as a result of my magic, of practicing my passive magic. And yes, it does work. And I want all of you to at least try it out for a bit. You don't have to if you don't want to. I know my friends back home, they tease me and everything. You should just, like, no, the laws, I won't go into that. But anyways, so without further more delay, the subject I want to talk about on this video, and I was a bit debating about it because there were a few things I mentioned. I will be going over perhaps a bit of monsters, So you remember in the last video, maybe it was the last, I can't remember. These sort of things, I'm sorry, is the lighting all right? I feel like, oh my God, it is so dark, so drab. But no, I'm going to be talking about dragons today. And I know I said it's going to be a mythological channel, and it is not, but you have to understand that from where I come from, lots of these magical things happen. And so I have to talk to all of you to vent my frustrations because of what happened to me. So for those of you who remember, I made a video, and I talked about how those bastards at the academy were trying to bribe me, correct? Yes, and so they gave me a dragon egg. And so I remember I told all of you that I was very excited because you can use a dragon egg for a variety of purposes. You can use the egg for materials, you can barter it or trade for better components, for spells, or for magic, for potion making, or anything else. But, you can also let the dragon grow, and then when it grows, you can harvest its scales for various components, and you can even sell them for a pretty penny. Having a dragon is a literal gold mine. There's a reason why dragons are always around gold, They essentially are gold. But the thing is that dragons, depending on which type you have, they are extremely arrogant. I don't like them. They are... Oh my God. So dragons, unfortunately, have the disease, the curse of being powerful as they are, or at least thinking they are all powerful. They have a superiority complex. They think that because they are large and because they are powerful, they can do whatever the bloody hell they want. But they cannot do that nowadays. Because our universe has started to balance itself out. Well, we have these super powerful creatures which need to... And, mages came into the picture. And so dragons don't like us. They can typically smell the differences between mages and people. I believe I discussed this in an audio log I did a long time ago. But I feel as though it is rather important to talk about these sort of things in a way you can understand. So the way my world works is that we have a lot of mages there. We have people and mages as well. Not everyone there is a mage. Not everyone there can use magic as we do. The laws, like I said, they gather themselves differently in different universes or in different realities, I should say. But when it comes to things like dragons, they have been around for thousands of years. Some even believe, not me, but some believe that dragons were responsible for the creation of the world itself, but that they were created by, I believe, the gods or by the greatest spirits for some reason. They still can't really explain to me why. And I wonder, because you weren't there, you idiot! So they talk about all these things. So these dragons, they come in different sizes, but they were essentially used to, I suppose, to mold the earth as it is. So that's why dragons are huge hubs of magical energy and arcane power. The reason why they're so strong is because they are descendants of, I believe, the original 4 dragons, or was it 5, that supposedly made the realm, made our world. You had one of the sea, one of the sky, one of land, one of fire, and then you had one of life. The one of life pretty much made vegetation, and they sort of, mingled with each other to create sort of, lesser creations. Things like man came into the picture. However, the dragons started to become a bit arrogant. They started feuding, and because they were already super powerful, I believe the gods, according to the certain legends, had to create other beings that could challenge these dragons. And so that is where mages came in. What the dragons did not know is that when they were creating the world, using their magic, they were essentially, fusing. Is that the right word? They were imparting their magic into the world itself. So whenever they made the earth, mana was in the earth. Whenever they made the sea, mana was in the sea. Sky, mana. Fire, mana. And when there's life, there was also mana. And so when they mingled with each other, certain magical forces happened. And so a lot of things started to be created, come into the picture. So, I'm sorry, these rings, I'm telling you, I think it's the gloves. Is it the gloves? Yes, I know. I'm going for some sort of asymmetry. I don't know, something different. But so, like I said, this is an educational video, so listen carefully. So, according to the legend, these dragons, when they heard that there were these beings being created, they got a bit angry or a bit nervous. And so they started charging up their regions. You started having things like what you call tornadoes. You had things like earthquakes, volcanoes erupting. You had things like tsunamis or harsh waves, and the sky would get crazy. The things on land would start to die off a bit quicker. So, it starts to do all of these things. Not all of these founding dragons were bad, but, when you have so much power, the saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that is true when it comes to dragons. Because dragons are arrogant and they are assholes, to say the least. I had the unfortunate circumstance of actually encountering a dragon one time. It wasn't an elder dragon. It was a dragon perhaps in its, mid-range. This happened when I was fairly young. I had just graduated the academy. And so I was on a mission to go, I believe it was, I want to say Southeastern. I was supposed to attend a conference between young mages and aspiring masters. And so along the way, I came across who I thought was a regular person. So we were engaged in a conversation. The person started, I guess, smelling me for some reason. Like the current president. He Joe Biden me, that bastard. No, I was like, excuse you, could I help you? And then he said, you're a mage. I'm like, what made you think I'm a mage? He's like, I could smell you. And I got very nervous because there are only certain things that alarm a mage. So for the most part, mages sort of know each other already. We know we're mages. There's a sort of, psychic connection. So imagine you're walking just, wherever down the street or perhaps in the forest, which was unfortunately where I was. And then you come across a stranger, a person, you say hi, and then they look at you twice, and then they say, you smell like a mage. And I was like, oh my God. I was very nervous. I was honestly a bit scared because the few things that can smell that can detect mages by the smell are things like dark creatures, things like werewolves, vampires, who can be a bit of a nuisance and a bit of a problem sometimes. Mages, we have a resistance to the vampiric curse as well as the werewolf curse because our magic protects us, but it doesn't mean that they can still hurt us. They are very, proficient in their physical abilities, and vampires tend to have a little bit of magic. But for the most part, they tend to stay away from us. It wasn't dark where I was, so I was like, well, it can't be that. I thought perhaps it's some sort of, The other thing I thought about was perhaps it was a demon. Demons can sort of do that thing as well. They can also sense you, but they like to smell you for some weird, creepy reason. And I was like, well, the other thing, I was like, no. I was narrowing down the list, and then it manifested before me. It turned into a bloody dragon. I was like, no! No, I don't have time for this. I have an appointment. I have I don't know. Yes, I had a date. But, so I was like, I have to go somewhere. I can't deal with this right now. I just graduated from the academy. We've only had to fight the dragon once, and it was in our training regimen. I said, I've been looking forward to this because I really hate your kind. You are arrogant bastards. And so it attacked me. It attacked me out of nowhere. It went for the lunge. It decided to go for a bite first because it had reach. It wasn't a terribly large dragon. It was perhaps the size of it was rather large. It was perhaps, I don't know, half the size of a house. It was quite big. So I immediately got into my position. I got into my stance, So I had to be ready. So this dragon, right? So it attacked me. It lunged forward. I dipped to the side. I'm sorry, I got so excited. I dipped to the side. I used a type of, teleportation spell or so. I went very quickly. And then I came at it. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm reliving this moment. I'm sorry. This looks very dark. Oh my God. Oh, wait. Hold on. Yeah. Yes. No, I'm sorry. This video is getting very long. I apologize. No, so, okay, so I'm sorry. I'm trying to minimize this. And it feels very dark. I'm in my tangent. No, so the dragon lunges forward, and I dip rather like maybe a few yards to the side, and then I do the underhand palm technique that we learned in combat class. So what we are doing at this time is that we are channeling our mana from the earth through the air, and we're pushing it upwards like this. Okay? Can you see me? Oh my God, this feels very dark for some reason. Yes, so I am charging it upwards like that. And so I release a pulse of magic at the dragon's jaw. And so like the dragon is stunned, and so we are taught to take out your opponent as quick as possible. So after I do this, I lunge forward, and then I sort of make like I suppose like a spear with my hands. I didn't have my staff with me. I didn't. I thought I wouldn't need it. I would have used it honestly rather than my hands. My hands were quite bruised because dragons have very hard skin. But I went in like this to stun the dragon, and then when his jaw was upwards like this, the chin move, the ultimate chin move, I went in like this, like almost like the prayer thing, and I focused my mana into my hands like this, and then I leapt up when the dragon was like this to get at its throat right here. I jumped up as quick as I could, and then I used the force from my momentum, amplified by mana, and then I pushed my hands into its like right here in this region, right here. So I pushed my hands into its jaw thing right here by the throat, and so I stunned it there, and it was short. And I said, "You make another move, I will kill you." And then, needless to say, it was humbled. It didn't know it was dealing with a battle mage, a war mage, a master of magic and terror. The dragon was so scared. I was like, I could kill you. I hate your kind so much. You are so arrogant. It is not my fault I am what I am. And you want to attack me because of my identity. I'm like, look, I could care less about you right now. We were engaged in this very long conversation, anime style. We were engaged in this conversation, and the dragon was quite nervous, but it was already a dragon. And I was like, I really want to do this. But the dragon, it backed up very quickly, and then it stopped. And then it sort of turned back into a person, and it apologized. I was like, as you should. You should not attack anyone for any circumstance. Yes, I am a mage, but don't hit me for that. I just showed you mercy. I showed you sympathy. You are a lizard masquerading as a person. Your kind... Okay, so I'm sorry, this video is getting a bit long. But so I didn't go into the whole dragon thing because I got sidetracked. But the thing is that dragons in my realm are... There was a point in time where they were being hunted. So yes, I can sense sort of, the persecution complex as well. But there was a good reason for that. Because decades before the ban, there were dragons popping up in different places, and they were, doing what dragons do best, destroying things and attacking mages, like, indiscriminately. And I was like, oh, what are we going to do? There was a huge debate about it, whether or not, because some dragons, they have been seen at academies. Some of them were professors at one point. Some of them were studying alongside mages. But dragons already knew. So, like, mages, we could tell if a person's a dragon most of the time, but some dragons are so good at deception that it kind of caught us by surprise, like that dragon caught me by surprise. So, needless to say, dragons were pretty much banned. They were no longer hunted down because then the practice was deemed cruel. I completely understand, but like the dragons had it coming. Like when you're attacking mages indiscriminately, like how would you feel if someone was attacking you for no reason, killing people just like you? You would want them banned, you would want them dead. So that's what we wanted for the dragons. But then the dragons, they come together, look, okay, we will hide away in secret, we won't bother you again. So that was the deal that was made. So this dragon that attacked me, I don't know what its name was. I could care less. I never saw it again afterwards. The person that I saw, it honestly doesn't even matter. The person I saw, they were a fairly fair complexion, but they had a very deep, rich brown hair, quite mid-length. I couldn't discern whether or not it was a male or a female, because dragons, they sort of try to hide themselves quite well. But, and because they can change, their genders depending on who they're mating with. So it's very hard to tell. But it looked like the build of a man, I guess. I guess it had the structure of a man, but it had the grace of a woman. So I'm not certain. But like I said, so dragons are very dangerous. They are assholes for that reason. So it's been this huge debate whether or not we should allow dragons to come back into our society. There's talks about it. They actually want to have the discussion and pass the law, I suppose, within like 5 years. Because dragons have been banned now for, I think, about maybe, I want to say perhaps, I don't know, I wasn't alive by then. I want to say almost 800 years. It's been around 800 years since the dragon ban. And the dragon's numbers, they have been decreasing as of late, and has been a huge worry to some because they think that if the dragons are gone, so is our mana. But I said no. I was one of those people who said no. Mana is in everything. It is in everyone. As long as we have the world, we have access to mana. We are in this world, we have access to that mana. We can still perform magic. But it's all this, oh my God. It's just this huge thing. It's just this huge debate, this huge problem. And so, I try very greatly to try and, I don't know what's the right word, to, I guess, be as understanding as possible. So, yes, so that was my dragon story. Now, when it came back to the whole dragon lore history, I pretty much summed it up. They pretty much allegedly made everything. They became arrogant with power. Mages came into the picture. There was this whole thing about mages and dragons. We didn't want to get involved, but they sort of started attacking us, and so we did this thing. It continued. We even had the Draco Mage conflicts of, I believe, oh my God, what was his name? I believe it was, oh my God. I believe it was, oh my goodness. It was Magnus. Magnus year 1023. I think that year was the year of the boar. Yes. Or I guess the century. It goes by century or whatever. The age of the boar. Yes, but it was this huge thing. It was honestly quite astounding. I couldn't really explain it. So, well, while we're on the subject of dragons, I'm sorry this is going in a weird place. So I'm going on a rant right now. I purchased Spyro, the trilogy, because I was very curious. I love gaming. I believe I mentioned this earlier. And the damn thing doesn't come with all the levels. And I was like, why would I pay money for a game where I have to download content? I am a mage. I don't have access to all of this internet and all this technology. But they were like, well, you need to download these levels. I was like, this is so stupid. Why would I purchase some? That's like buying a movie, okay? And the movie says, well, you've reached a certain part of the film. We're sorry we don't have the rest of the movie here available right now, but you have to go online, and then you have to download the rest of the film to That is so stupid. You paid for the whole film. I thought I paid for the entire game, and apparently I did. But the game was like, look, we know you paid for the entire game. Don't be mad, but you have to download the rest of it. I was like, why isn't it already in the disc when I purchased it? It's so stupid. But yes, I'm sorry. I'm still recovering from my pin being stolen. It's so stupid. Who steals pins? It's ridiculous. But there is that about dragons. So dragons, like I said, dragons aren't all bad, but the majority tend to be a bit arrogant. So if you're encountering a dragon, be composed in yourself. If you're not a mage, you must try to walk away slowly and calmly to a place where you feel the most safe. Dragons typically won't manifest themselves in a crowd because they try to keep the anonymity. Some dragons have tried to come into this world. I won't mention names because I would violate the sort of, confidential agreements we may just have with dragons. But some dragons would come over here to try to live a normal life, Their essence they still have, but because the laws of this universe, they can't really use their magic to some great extent. However, some dragons, they do have the possibility of, I guess, attaining riches. Some people out there are very powerful and very rich, and they always want more. These people are technically dragons by that extent. I won't be naming names, but for example... No, I won't say it. I won't say it. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm sorry. It's cold, I know. I hope you can feel it. But yeah, so this has been an educational video about dragons. I hope you enjoyed it. It's not as alarming, I guess, as funny or humorous as my other ones, But I'm not trying to do that all the time. The sort of things have to happen naturally. But without further more delay, Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope that this video has been something to your liking, something to educate you a bit about my world, about where I came from. I will try to discuss something else of an important matter, something a bit more relevant, something that the mundane understand. But I understand that many of you perhaps don't understand this world that I come from, and perhaps the law that, comes with the world. So I hope all of you are entertained. Rejects, isolationists, lords and ladies, and my fellow majors, I wish the best for you. I wish for love. I hope that all of you are feeling well, that all of you are feeling okay, and that you remember that I care about you, that I indeed love you, and all my rejects, that you treat each other kindly, with respect, with dignity, with love and acceptance, and that you always grow to understand and have tolerance. I wish for the best, and I hope that all of you have a splendid day. Make sure you feed your animals, your children, I guess, if you have them. And remember, I'm bringing it back. Remember to please, when you are making mushrooms, please use a type of perfume. They smell like cock. Goodbye.